Hello everyone, in this video series I'm going to be doing something with OpenCV in C++. So mostly I'm going to be doing something on drawing stuff, drawing rectangles, circles, lines, those kind of stuff, and dynamically moving an object drawn by OpenCV, which might not be possible directly, but rather I got some indirect ways to handle that issue. So if you're very beginner to OpenCV and C++, then I think this might be something useful for you. And if you are an expert on this, please don't watch this, because I'm no expert on this. I'm doing this for the sake of learning OpenCV and C++, and I'm doing this for a purpose. So there might be very much mistakes, and this code is not an optimized or not an effective code. Rather, this well satisfy my purpose of the task that I want to complete. So let me get started with this project. So first of all, I'm going to open Visual Studio 2019 Community Edition. That's what I'm going to be using. So first of all, I'm going to create a new project. So if you don't know how to set up Visual Studio 2019 in your Windows PC nor in any operating system, please, there are plenty of videos all over the internet, especially in YouTube, explaining how to do that very well, better than me. So after setting that Visual Studio, and you're going to create an empty project. So go ahead and create empty project, and then name your project with something that you can identify. So I'm going to create a new project with the name like OpenCV, maybe tutorial. No, I'm not going to be delivering tutorial, because I'm the worst tutorial maker ever you will find. So OpenCV 1, so that should be fine. No, that might give some meaning, because there are something versions of OpenCV, OpenCV 2, OpenCV 3, just like Python 2, Python 3 versions. So this might give some bad interpretation for my name. So I think that's not a good name. OpenCV learning, maybe 1. So this will fulfill the purpose, I guess. So then you can choose wherever you want to store the project, or the source. So I'm gonna let it be the same as it is. So, and then I'm gonna go ahead and create. Okay, it takes a while because my PC is not the best PC in the world. So yeah, this always asks me to update it. I updated yesterday. You know, Windows, Microsoft, or more everyday desktop upgrades. I'm going to close this one for now. I will update it later when I get some late night data. So so first of all, this is the new window that just opened when I create a new project. So this is my project name. So first of all, if I come over here, this is my Solution Explorer. Here I'm going to create a new CPP file, my C++ file, which will be the main file of this project. So I'm going to go ahead and add a new item, which will be the C++ file. I'm going to name it as main.cpp, and then I'm going to create add. So if you notice, where this file goes is it's not directly in the folder, in the first folder, rather inside that folder with the same name of that folder. Because when we create a new project, we gave it like project name, and the solution names are different. So this is the project name. Inside that, we will have a solution name. So inside the solution folder, we will have our files created. So go ahead and create that file. So yeah, now you got main.cpp file. Here, this is an empty file. Here you're going to be programming, coding everything that you want. And also you have to set up OpenCV to work with this. In order to do that, I'm going to go ahead and view property manager. There I'm going to link OpenCV library files to this project. So this property manager is opened up here, so I'm going to be open this one. So actually there are two options available when you execute a program, right? So one is debug mode and other one is release mode. If you want to know the difference between that, I may provide details on that later, but this one I'm going to be using the 64 version of release method that I'm going to be using on this. So I'm going to go ahead and right click on this and then create a new project property sheet. Rather than doing from scratch, I already set up another project with the exact same property sheet that I want to configure with this one. So if you want to how to set up OpenCV for this, how to set up a property sheet working for OpenCV on this, it's also provided in many videos, so I don't want to explain on that in this video. If you want, I can put another video on that. Maybe you ask in the comments. So first of all, I'm going to open this one, an existing property sheet, and then I'm going to go ahead and select my other project, maybe this one, I don't know where it is. Oh boy. Oh, I had it here. Project one. Yeah, here we go. So here we go. This is my property sheet that I'm going to open. That's done. If you open this up, double click it, open up. So these are the main things that I want to check. So if you come over here and check C, C++ general, then it will be like this. So my OpenCV is set up, my additional include directories included my OpenCV directory, and then come over here, link general, and then you have to check here additional library directories, that's also set. And then come over here and check input, and you see these all lib files included. So that's all done with my project. So now I'm very much ready to go ahead and program my. Okay, let me start coding with this one. So did I miss anything? Yeah, I missed one thing. I have to check this is in release mode and 64-bit. That's what I want. So I'm going to, because that's what I'm configuring my project for. So first of all, so in this video, first of all, I have to include certain things from OpenCV. So this is C++, so you know how to include pre-processor libraries, right? Include OpenCV2, co, and then co.hpp, and then, oh, is it working? Yeah, it's working. Okay, now include OpenCV2 and then OpenCV.hpp. That's done, and then I need to include another one from OpenCV. Include OpenCV2, and then so here we go. Hi GUI.hpp. These are the main files that I want to include in order for my program to work without any issues, because when I use functions from this, those functions will be loaded from this header files. And then of course I need to include the main standard IOStream header file from CPP, C++, so which is IOStream, without which I can't do any C in C out operations, if you know what I am talking about. Okay, let me go ahead and then there are main two things I need to do now. First one is the namespace of CV and namespace of STD. I mean, for example, the namespace in C++ is very important to define first. Otherwise, you have to do every time when you use functions from those namespace, you have to mention which namespace that you are loading the functions from. So rather than doing it every time I call a function or methods, I better configure my program to use the namespace throughout my program. So I have two namespace here. One is a standard namespace of C++. That's one. So I'm going to do that first using namespace std. So that's fine. And then I have to use namespace of CV. Okay, well done. So now the main part begins. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start first of all, I have to save it frequently, otherwise I might lose it if anything goes crashed. So so basically what I'm going to do here is I'm going to draw a very big box to denote, like, so actually I didn't explain what I'm going to do on this one. So first of all, I'm going to draw a box to denote a room, and then I will draw some tables on that room, and then I will draw some columns which will be serving the purpose of being so then I will include some rectangles to serve the purpose of being some obstacles in the room. So later I will draw my robot, which will be the delivering robot in the restaurant. So this will be like a map of the restaurant, and then when I enter which table to delivery, this so when I enter the table number to which the food has to be delivered, then this robot will get its journey started from its beginning position, the starting position where it collects food, and then go straight to the delivery table through the path that I'm going to assign. So at this first tutorial, I'm not going to do path planning, algorithm things. I'm not going to work on that on this video. I will do it eventually on upcoming weeks. So today what I'm going to do is, first of all, let me start drawing the map before I get into anything else. So first of all, I have to initiate this function, main function, and then what happens. Okay, and then first of all, I need to ask the user which table number they have to deliver. So I'm going to get a variable deliver to, which will be the get table. So I'm going to use a function to do that rather than doing everything in main function. I better do something like that. So I'm going to create a new function, get table number. So I'm going to call that function. So first of all, I have to create the function which will be returning me an integer. So that will be the table number. So in this video, in this example, I'm going to create 8 tables. So let me first okay, so int, and then I'm going to get, so first of all, I need to have a variable where I have to store the table number, int delivery table number, which will be the variable that I'm going to store and return the value of the table number that I received from the user. So first of all, I need to ask the user, enter the table number, maybe like enter the delivery table number, okay, and then end line. Fine. Now I need to ask the user, I need to get the input stored in this, sorry, delivery table number. Fine. And then after getting the input, I need to return the value delivery table number. That's fine. It will work perfectly, right? So now I have to print it like cout. Okay, I will deliver the food to the table number deliver to, oh sorry, fine. And then I need to add a inline. Fine. Okay, this is just for my just to debug what's happening. And then fine, after getting the input, I need to draw the map. So actually I have to start with drawing the map, but I started with this anyway. I'm going to draw the map. So rather than drawing the map in this function, I'm going to create a new function, draw map, which will then be okay, fine. So first of all, so the draw map function will be having drawing the tables. So this will draw room partition, maybe the room borders, and then drawing tables, robot starting point, etc. And then I have to draw the columns, right? Column, I don't have to give it any inputs, so draw columns, which will be the obstacles. Fine. And then okay, let me start with that. Draw map. Draw map is not going to return anything, so I'm going to start with a void function, void draw map. Okay, and then I'm going to draw the map. So on this point forward, I'm going to preview what's happening with my program. So draw map will create the map. As I already included all the necessary libraries on this to work with OpenCV, I don't have to worry about anything with that. So first of all, I need to draw a rectangle to represent the room. So draw a filled rectangle. So my color choice is very bad. I'm just randomly putting RGB values for my drawings, so you don't have to please don't criticize me for my color choice. This is not my color choice, rather this is a random color to do my things. Okay, first of all, I'm going to draw a rectangle. So this is how you draw a rectangle. First of all, after the function called rectangle, you have to create the parenthesis. Oh, I forgot one thing. The very big thing that I need to have done first. After mentioning the namespace, I have to do I need to create an image, a matrix to represent my image. So I'm going to create a mat object, mat. So I'm going to name it as image and then create matrix. So I'm going to create a zero matrix, an empty image with all zeros. It means a black image. and that zeros, that will be the zero matrix. So the values of the matrix will be filled with all zero, and then the matrix size will be 600 by 400. That will serve the purpose. You can choose whatever the image format you want, and then I have to do it like a UC3, I think. Okay, that will do work. And then I need to do some other thing too, because actually I will do it later. So rectangle, create a rectangle. A rectangle, where it has to draw the rectangle is in the image. So in image, create a rectangle. Okay, and then so I need to define 2 points. I mean the left top corner of the rectangle and the right bottom corner of the rectangle. So there I have to create point of so I'm going to create a rectangle from 5,5, and then another the point. I have to define the point, the next corner of the rectangle, where it is going to be 395, 595, because my matrix is going to be 600 by 400. I'm going to start from 5,5 and then 395, 595. So that will give 5 points on X and Y axis outside of the room. So that will give like a margin value for me. And then I'm going to go ahead and fix my color, what color it has to, scalar. There I have to define my color. So I'm going to go give this value to 15, maybe, I don't know, 41. I don't know. I have no idea what color it is going to be giving me. And then I have to put -1 so that it will be filled rather than a border structure, because I need a filled box. So, and then I'm going to put 8. That will be the anyway. And then I'm going to go ahead and show that image so that I will know what's going to appear. I am show. I'm going to create a new window to show my image. So maybe a room will do the purpose, and then I'm going to go ahead and show my image on that window. That will finish my work. And then go ahead and I'm going to do some, because I need to when I show this image, it will just show it and close it. So as I want to see what's on the image, I need it to have a delay. So I'm going to put this as a wait key. So this function will serve me a purpose, like it will keep the program waiting until I press something. Maybe until I press any key from my keyboard, it will keep the image on my screen, so that I can see what's happening. So let me go ahead and see what's happening. As I already called this function, and I also didn't do this, so I'm going to comment it out, and let's see what's happening. Local Windows debugger. Yeah, it's loading. So it's asking me the delivery table number. So it's not going to do anything rather than storing it in the variable. So I'm going to enter 7. And I didn't even put a error checking method. Maybe if I enter more than 8, it just, there will be error code. Yeah, well done, man. Room window is opened, and this is the room color. It started from 5,5 and ended with this point. That's great. Yeah, now my room is done, and then all I have to do is create tables, and then a point where my robot will start its journey after collecting the food from the chef. And then I have to draw some columns over here and here. That will do my purpose. Yeah, so let me close this one and then go ahead and draw the table. But after analyzing, after thinking about the problem that I'm going to solve on this, I realized that I can make my work so much easier if I could have a grid structure laid out on my room. For example, if I have a grid structure, I can place things on the grid, so I can keep track of things. So I can name the grid points, and I can keep track of the things with respect to the grid points, so that it will be very easy for me to navigate my robot throughout the structure, throughout the grid, so that I can get my target very easily. So I'm going to create a grid. So the grid is not going to be like horizontal and vertical lines. Rather, I'm going to just put some dots to denote only the corners of the grid. I mean the points of the interconnecting points of the grid. So first of all, I'm going to draw the grid. So so the ratio I chose for this grid is going to be 20-20, like 20 from the edge of this box I already drawn. Oh my god, I'm drawing it here. No, I have to draw it in this function. So I'm going to go to definition. So here what I have done is I have already created a rectangle. So from these edges I'm going to be like stepping forward by 20-20-20 x and y direction. So int I is equal 20. That's my beginning, that's my starting point, and then I less than 200, sorry, 390, because 395 is my last point. And then I is equal I plus 20. Yeah, because it's going to be like going like 20-20. That's why I plus 20. I can do it some other way, I plus 20 like thing, but I'm not going to do that. So this will do the x-axis, and then I have to do the same for the y-axis. So it's a dual side loop, it's a double loop for the same thing. Int j is equal 20, so y is also 20, and then j less than 590, the same as that, j is equal j plus 20. So, and then I'm going to draw that. So to draw dots, I'm going to draw circles with a very tiny radius. So where I have to draw the grid is on the image. So, and then where the center is, that's where I have to put it I comma j. And then I have to define the radius of that. So I have to define the radius of that, 3.0. That will do, I guess. Then I have to define what color my circle is going to be, 0, 0, and then 255. And then, and then I have to define -1, that will fill the circle color. And then I'm going to put 8 as a circle thickness. And then, yeah, voila, that's done. So again, if I want to see what's going to happen in this, I'm going to cut this one over here so that I don't have to wait until this one finishes and go ahead with this. So sorry, I need to put this outside of the for loop, right? Okay, so let's see what's happening. It's running. Yeah, it takes some while to get it done. So first of all, I'm going to enter 5. Yeah, done, man. So my grid is being shown on my image very well. Maybe it's a bit of a kind of eye-catching color, but this is not a graphic designing tutorial. Rather, I'm not a color choice guy. I will change it maybe in future, but that's not the purpose of this, right? Maybe Steve Jobs will fire me for this. Okay, and then you know what I'm going to do next. Now go ahead and draw some tables. Why? So I already defined the coordinates of tables on the grid. So I'm not going to do it one by one. Rather, I will pause my video until I finish drawing tables. So I will draw only one table first, then I will change only the coordinates. So let me draw my first table and show it to you what I'm going to do. Image, where I have to draw, I fixed where I have to draw it, and point. This is a rectangle, so you know how to draw a rectangle earlier. So here I mentioned how to draw a rectangle, the initial point, initial corner, and the end corner. The color, if you want to fill it with color, -1. If you don't want to fill it with color, +1. And thickness of the edges 8, because here it doesn't matter because you're going to fill it with the same color. So you are going to create so basically what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create this I'm going to copy and paste from my reference, I mean the coordinates that I already created in order to make my work easier. So I'm going to copy and I'm going to finish drawing this thing. Okay, now I have finished drawing my table. Then what I have to do is, yeah, I need to cut this thing from here. So I have to cut this and then paste it over here. After drawing my table, I will show my image to the screen. Let me run it. Let me enter my table. Wow, that's nicely done. I have created this room and then created this grid and then wow, nicely done. I have created the room, then I drew this grid and then I drew this table, and then this will be the starting point of the robot. That's great, right? Let me okay, with that I'm going to, so it says okay, I will deliver the food to the table number 5, but it's not ready yet because there's no robot on this picture yet. So let me work on this in the next tutorial video. Until then, have a great day. Goodbye.